Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the semi-finals in the Division NAC for Echo League between Nagas with Attitude and Team Michael Bolton. It is Mike LaPhoenix once again with probably the best looking man in Echo League, apart from myself. It's Mr. StinkyPie. Stinky, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I'll take that.
There's nothing wrong with coming second, mate. I mean, it's a pretty hard competition with me here, but
Mm.
got a very exciting game for the NAC semi-finals between Nagas with Attitude and Team Michael Bolton. If I we just did talk about Michael Bolton is higher ranked, if I'm correct.
Yeah, by a bit, but at the same time, they haven't really been tested. I think throughout the group stages and even the playoffs, they've had a couple of bye games actually where the enemy team just had to forfeit for one reason or the other. So really haven't seen too much out of these guys as of yet.
Well, we casted Nagas with Attitude. I think it was like a week ago, and we saw them pretty much completely stomp the other team, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean they only played one game because the enemy team lost the game due to being late, but at the same time it was a pretty convincing win from them. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that it was anti Kythera, wasn't it? And they were late again with their last player. Well, these things happen, I suppose. But we see a quick Magnus pickup. I'm gonna assume there's gonna be a Juggernaut after this, and then a Warlock Ricky, which is rather interesting. We don't see Ricky that often. Straight like second picked.
yeah, it's an interesting hero. It does offer a lot in the early stages of the game. Later on, you can scale pretty well too, and that smoke screen is one of the best abilities in the game, I think. But there's it's counterable as we see. There's a Spirit Breaker already. Ricky really doesn't fare too well in terms of straight up early on man-to-man engagements. He's more reliant on sneaking around the map, catching people unaware, sniping couriers, whereas Spirit Breaker can just brazenly charge down and just man fight him one-on-one. So a good answer there from Nagas with Attitude.
Well, this is interesting though, isn't it? Because they've delayed the Juggernaut pick, which is what I'm assuming anyway, because of the Magnus. They're going to allow Team Michael Bolton to ban it if they so wish, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's going to be no Juggernaut pick with this Magnus.
Yeah, I mean Magnus Juggernaut is probably the most obvious combo that comes to mind, but at the same time, Juggernaut can sometimes struggle against the Ricky because if you get hit up by that smoke cloud, you can't use your spin, and that's sort of your main defensive ability.
It's a fair point. Enigma ban. That's interesting. Waiting on this fourth ban. They've banned the Nakes out, so they wanted the Nakes bomb gone, and there's the Juggernaut. So there's the combo's gone. So I suppose there are other carries you can choose with Magnus, like we saw AM with with Burning playing. But is there any other obvious carries to pick with a Magnus?
Uh, to be fair, I want to say you don't necessarily have to go for someone who really benefits that much.
Mm.
It's sort of it's a bit of a differing philosophy, but more often than not, if you land a good RP, people are dead anyway. So even heroes who don't immediately come to mind, say maybe a sniper, can benefit quite a lot. But I think Tiny is also an option, which I believe we have seen that in the past. Magnus Tiny.
That's a good point. I mean, number one, I forgot about the days where it didn't empower meant nothing and it was all about the RP skewer. But you are right in saying it's not really like you can just use Magnus for the RP and skewer and not worry about the empowering a carry. But Tiny, of course, is like we talked about this. I believe it was last game we casted because it increases the base damage. And Tiny has like one of the highest base damages. It really does affect him quite well.
Yeah. Who else comes to mind here? So they're going to be against an Underlord, and that's a tough lane for a lot of carries. I think we have seen Magnus, Spectre, heroes like that in the past, but I think Spectre somewhat struggles against an Underlord in lane.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, we haven't seen. I don't even know if we've seen one Underlord casting together. So this is something new for us. I'm not sure. Yeah, he is a pain in the ass to go up against when you're trying to do a safe lane carry.
Yeah, I mean, Underlord's a strange hero. Some teams really value the Underlord, but in a lot of drafts, he just goes completely ignored. But Team Michael Bolton, obviously, like the Underlord here, and in addition to that strong laning phase, does give them a bit of team fight control. And on top of a Warlock or Ricky, they do have quite a bit of lockdown. I can just imagine someone getting trapped up by that pit of malice, stuck in a Ricky smoke cloud, just unable to retaliate. So they do have a lot of what's the word, sort of zone control, persistent abilities in team fights. The Warlock with the Golem, obviously, but Upheaval as well can do quite a number.
It's a fair point. It's absolutely a fair point. I should mention, for any viewers on Twitch, if you're looking at FPS drops right now on the draft screen, ignore that. It's quite normal for my potato PC, but it will disappear once we get into the game. So just ignore the FPS drops in the draft screen. Waiting on this fourth pick now. I'm wondering what we're going to see. We still require a mid, and we still require a hard carry. Nothing really pops out to me, but we don't really have that many mids banned. Like, the only mid we have that's been banned is Invoker, so the world's their oyster right now.
Yeah, but whoever they choose to go mid will have to contend with a Ricky. I mean, this goes for both sides, really. Ricky on one hand, Spirit Breaker on the other. It's going to be probably not a 1v1 lane. More likely they're not going to see a lot of interference.
Well, that's a fair point. Ricky is probably going to be more painful earlier on because the invis just makes it so you can be, but at the later stages, like when we enter the 15 to 20 minute mark, Nagas, they're gonna have a Spirit Breaker and a Nyx, and there's a Weaver. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, Weavers can be hard to kill, but at the same time, if you just are able to get the control out on him, get the damage done, he can just die in an instant. He's got really low strength gain, so a lot of it is going to depend on how they're able to protect the Weaver, just how aware this Weaver is. Weaver and Nyx is an interesting matchup because on one hand, Weaver's pretty slippery, as we all know, but on the other hand, if you're able to time it well, you can often get the damage reflected on Shikuchi using a Spike Carapace, and that can potentially be very bad for a Weaver. So similar story with the Spirit Breaker, the Magnus as well, obviously. So it's going to be a hard matchup, but if he's able to pull it off, he's going to make Nagas with attitude look really silly.
Yeah. I mean, are we expecting Weaver to be a safe lane to carry this game around, or do you think it's a possible mid?
I think this time a safe lane, because with the Ricky, he's not the best lane support. You often just want to be running around as a Ricky, which does mean that you want a hero who can sort of stand on their own in lane, like this Weaver.
Well, I was while you were saying that, we see the AM come out. I mean, someone's been watching IG play because they're hoping for a 1040 GPM by the end of the game. I don't know if we're going to expect that, but we saw how effective anti-mage can be if he has an empower early.
Yeah, this one's a bit interesting though, because there are some decent counters to the anti-mage. I think Ricky is one of the better heroes when it comes to handling an anti-mage. If you get the smoke screen out, if there's Ricky +1 can easily deal with an anti-mage, at least until he gets a BKB, which he really doesn't want to do until much later on. So it obviously has that really good synergy there with the Magnus, but I feel like Team Michael Bolton might have the tools to deal with it. As you were saying earlier, they've got some pretty strong team fight as well. So, we could just see Team Michael Bolton put the pressure onto NWA and just take them out with a raw team fight, take their towers. But if it pays off, again, this is one of those mixed bag things. If the anti-mage is able to get off to a good start, really start spreading the map, it will be very hard for this Ricky to be able to chase him around and actually get the job done.
Well, I'd like to point out, John X Fire in the Twitch chat has reminded us that Spirit Breaker Ags plus Magnus is hilarious. I'm assuming he's referring to the RP Ags Never Strike.
No, yeah, I mean, that's... I'm not really going to consider that, I'm sorry.
Thank you, John. There's the Abaddon pickup. It's a very strong offlaner, as we know. We don't even... I mean, it's a Weaver safe lane as we know it now, so Weaver shouldn't have too many problems against an Abaddon, but it's still annoying, right?
Yeah, and this is especially if it's not going to be just the Abaddon. I'm wondering if they chuck the Spirit Breaker in that offlane as well. A dual offlane with an Abaddon is pretty nasty for most heroes to deal with. And I
Wha-
wonder how they choose to handle this. Because they're gonna have to pick a mid laner who can really take the aggression from Spirit Breaker, and they can't really go for an intelligence mid because Nyx and Anti-Mage are just gonna destroy them.
We'll have to wait and see here. They've only got 20 seconds left in time to pick it up. Um,
I'm thinking a Windrunner maybe, but that's a very specific hero. A lot of teams don't play that. Oh boy.
oh, hello.
So I was warned about this actually.
You were?
Yeah, I had someone remind me that Team Michael Bolton do play the Meepo. I didn't expect to see it here. I I can think of a couple reasons why you wouldn't pick it, but it's a decent match against the Anti-Mage. You've got all those snares or roots, which just stop him from blinking. But then again, Abaddon can be pretty good against Meepo, because that's a hero you can never really blow up. And similar story for the Magnus there. If you ever get RP'd, you could just be absolutely destroyed by this Anti-Mage. Spirit Breaker as well. All that single target lockdown can be hard for Meepo to deal with. So I think this is more of a comfort pick, just a show of confidence, rather than being picked for any specific reason.
Well, we'll get into the game. Like, there is a lot of counters that I can see for the Meepo, but at the end of the day, as we know from probably our pub games, if Meepo is really good, then it doesn't really matter too much. We'll see. I'm going to go through the Radiant side. You go through the Dice. So we've got Pacer. He's playing the Underlord on the offlane. We've got Dusty on the Ricky, who should be roaming. We have Mr. D. Cooper playing that Meepo. We have a Warlock being played by Mean Mr. Custard. And Entro X will be playing the Weaver and the Dara, if you could please.
On the side of Nagas with Attitude, we've got SR24 playing the Anti-Mage, Suplad on the Nyx Assassin, Black Jesus playing as Magnus, Dos Gatos on the Abaddon, and Tane playing the Spirit Breaker.
Just remind me as well, if you could, if I'm just gonna keep saying NWA because we know what happened last time. So, just if I start saying Nagas with Attitude like an idiot, just remind me to say NWA because we know it's gonna come out again. That darn word.
I'm sure you'll be forgiven for anything, but a very interesting lane setup to start things off. Looks like it's going to be an off-lane Spirit Breaker,
Oh,
and Abaddon, for now at least, is starting in the top lane, so it looks to be a support Abaddon.
I like this.
Yeah, it's not something we see that often, but can be pretty effective.
Oh, and Dusty, he stole the bounty as well. So
Cheeky little bugger.
yeah, he got away with it. I'm like, my goodness, are you using Australian words now? Using the I've rubbed off on you somehow because the word bugger has come out. Huh. Magnus against the Meepo. How's this gonna go?
So early on, if you just look at their attack damages, Magnus, especially with the Empower, has got a good 20 attack damage on Meepo. So that's a pretty hard matchup for him early on, but once you hit level 3, once you get the second Meepo, you should just be fine.
Well, we know that Meepos can gain golden XP very, very fast. Like you said, once they've got those Meepos online, if they can micro well, it's just there's no chance stopping it. I mean, unless, but then again, you have a Nyx, you have an SB. Like we know they can catch them out if they're by themselves. But that empower level 1 is just too much. He's got like 80.
I mean, he's sitting at 80 damage. What does Meepo have? 54? That's pretty brutal.
It's kind of ridiculous. Black Jesus. He'll walk off, but I mean, this is not going to be the easiest mid in the world for this Meepo, but not going to be the hardest either. Once he's got that second one up.
Yeah, he's gotten every single range creep so far, and that hasn't been denied away from him. So he should be fine in levels. Once he hits level 3, I think he should be perfectly fine. And in fact, it might be Magnus who starts struggling. Could have to look out for just the Rask, because Meepo poofing twice in that creep wave with 2 Meepos. It can deal a lot of damage to anyone nearby, so Magnus will have to start to play around that soon.
Well, there must be, from what I'm looking at on the Radiance draft, there must be there's some kind of timing they need to hit, right? Like the Dire, they've got an AM, so they can go as late as they want. But the Michael Bolton's team, they're a bit on the clock, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And, well, they do have the tools to sort of do that once this Warlock comes online. And once you get maybe a Mech on the Underlord and a few levels, they can really start turning up the pressure.
Well, we'll see how this goes. I was just gonna say it's interesting. The Magnus actually empowering some creeps when there's no radiant creeps left to deal a bit more damage to Cooper on the Meepo, which is actually
Oh,
it was
this
pretty.
Courier,
Oh, where's the courier?
top lane. Ricky's trying to go for it. He got one hit, but ended up getting blocked by the creep, so he couldn't finish the job there. He was waiting there for a very long time. He's still at level 1.
Oh, that is such a shame. That is such a shame. It's not an easy courier snipe though to get at that top lane, is it? Like it's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't kill a Courier in one hit. It's pretty close, but
it almost looks like he needed 3 maybe if he got really unlucky on the second hit.
well, I mean, now he's gonna walk into lane level 1. I don't really think he can do too much against this anti-mage.
Well, I was slightly intrigued because it doesn't look like Dusty ever came to mid to harass the Magnus at all. He's at top now, but I mean there's an Abaddon there to protect the AM. So like, what's he really gonna achieve with this top lane?
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I mean, he was all in sniping that Courier, and he even placed a steep ward to spot out when it was coming, but sometimes it just doesn't pay off. And Anti-Mage is off to a decent start here, and I think Anti-Mage, I do like the pick against the Underlord, didn't really mention that. And while he doesn't have any points in the spell shield, a lot of Underlord's power in lane, especially against melee cores, is just dropping that Firestorm, farming out the wave, and just harassing any melee cores as they try to sit in the wave. But Anti-Mage, similar story against Darkseer, he's pretty good at handling constant abuse from magic damage.
That's a good point. Ricky again stealing those bounty runes, so top lane's probably going to have to realize they're never going to get those bounty runes while Ricky's around in the game. Oh, there's actually a charge bot lane. Tane, he's gone on the Warlock, but he has to back off. Now Tane's in trouble because Entrox is actually chasing him, and Tane will be taken down first blood. And now Superlad, he might be in trouble as well. The Fatal Bonds come out, but I don't think they'll even need it. The Sakuchi through, and that's a double kill for the Weaver.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that they'd even try to go for it. Part of why we figured they picked this Weaver was for his early lane potential, and putting 2 melee heroes against the Weaver usually doesn't end that well because he's just too slippery there with that Chikuchi, even if you've got detection.
Oh, mid lane Meepo dealing a lot of damage on Black Jesus. I don't think Black Jesus might be dead. Oh, the shockwave, no! It doesn't take him out in time.
Yep. Part of this is sort of down to the skill build from this Magnus, actually. He's got 2 points in Shockwave and 3 points in Empower there. I think if it was the other way around, maybe he could have gotten that kill.
Yeah, I mean...
it is what it is.
Well, he went all in.
It's a hard matchup. Yeah.
He went all in farming pretty much. Like you said, if he just went 1 level in Shockwave more, he would have had the kill, which is a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? Regardless.
Once you hit some points on Meepo, and he's definitely hit that point now, and it's going to get even harder now that he's ahead a couple of levels. But Meepo, level 4, level 5 gets really strong once you get a few points into the Poof, and once he gets his third Meepo, it's going to be harder.
Well, I haven't seen the Meepo play on Team Michael Bolton, so I don't know whether this is going to be that whole spam Dragon Lances or just rush a Blink Dagger or whatever. He actually nets him again. Black Jesus, he could go down here. The Poof's still a lot of damage. Black Jesus, he will walk out, and there's actually a charge coming in now, so he wants to turn this around. No RP available. The charge will connect. The Shockwave actually misses, and Cooper looks like he'll be able to walk this one off. Maybe could have tried to go further had they hit the Shockwave, but not successful.
Yeah, he just hit level 6 there, and he used the Shockwave, I think, deliberately to kill that range creep to get the EXP for level 6. But once he hit level 6, he leveled up his RP, but he didn't have the mana for it.
Oh, I see. So it was a next level play, but he just didn't count the mana properly.
Yeah, not quite next level enough.
Well, he'll be back in lane, but there's Cooper again, and Dusty's there this time with the smoke cloud, and looks like, yeah, he'll be dead. Black Jeez has no chance. The charge comes in, but this could be dangerous for Tane. Luckily for him, the stun was long enough, and Cooper won't try to ensnare, or Earthbind, I should say, but, I mean, this Meepo looks like he's going to start getting out of control. He's 47 last hits as well now.
Oh yeah, it's reaching that point, and you were asking the question whether it be Dragonlance stacking. He's going straight for the Blink Dagger, and I do agree with his choice. He's off to a great start here. There's plenty of targets you can just blow the hell up, so Anti-Mage can be quite vulnerable sometimes because you can't blink while you're rooted by that Earthbind. Similar story with Magnus, you can't skewer, and Earthbind does reveal stealth, so even a hero like Nyx Assassin isn't as safe as he thinks.
Well, I like to think of it as like kill or be killed. Like if you get the blink on Meepo and you start initiating on them rather than letting them come to you. Actually, they're going on to SR24, but they missed everything, and there's a charge on Pacer. And they're not going to keep going after Pacer though. The charge will hit, but they're not in position to keep going. Another bash. There's a dust to find out the Ricky, but there's a beautiful smoke cloud. And I think that might be it. No, Black Jesus is here, commits the RP. And yeah, Dusty should go down. Tried to blink, couldn't get it off. Warlock TP's in very late. Fatal Bonds is there, but that's all she wrote.
So, yeah, I think that RP committal, if they had hit the Underlord as well, that would have been well worth it. But now, without RP for a full 100 seconds, not only does that remove RP, it relieves a lot of pressure on this Meepo. So Meepo fearlessly hitting that tier 1 tower now, and he knows that there's no RP.
Well, they're surrounding him. The stun missed. The charge comes in. Cooper, he's in big trouble.
He
but
can fight his way out of this.
He's going to poof him. Oh, Super Lad, he cops so much damage. And now Black Jesus trying to take him out. And, I mean, look, Ricky's actually here as well, Tane. No, they'll back off, but he did. At the least, he got a kill before he died.
A bit unfortunate that one Meepo was much lower. If Ricky was there half a second earlier, I think it would have been a completely different story. Probably a triple kill for this Meepo. But that's just one of the problems of dealing with a Meepo. Now that he's got free Meepos, level 10 with that Divided We Stand, and especially knowing that the RP is down, just see how fearlessly he can push. And it does take a lot of effort to bring him down. They do take him down in the end, which is definitely worth it, losing their Nyx Assassin there. But at the same time, that's just more space for this Weaver. That's another hero we really cannot forget about.
That's correct. Mr. Weaver, intro, he's just farming. He's not farming too badly either. He's third on the board in last hit, and if we look at net worth, he's actually second. So doing very well for himself, and nobody's really paying him any mind or any attention. Yeah, like you said, like even the pushing potential for Michael Bolton's very, very, very fast in comparison to NWA, who appear to be very slow at the start of things.
Yeah, they're pretty much fully invested into this anti-mage. That's how they're going to live or die this game. It's pretty much all eggs in the anti-mage basket.
Well, Meepo, he is level 11 now. Top of the net worth. Looks like he wants to have a go on Soup Lad. He's actually farming the jungle, so the micro is there. I don't think... I mean, even if they kill him, I think this man is extremely confident in being able to bounce back. Like, he doesn't look very scared. We see Black Jesus is running in from the back lines. He finds himself Warlock and won't get anything done, but there's the Pit Lord and there's the Firestorm as well. The Skewer out. Black Jesus, he has haste and he'll make a run for it, and now it looks like he wants to run back in, but doesn't know Dusty's around. And Dusty's keeping the eyes on him, and will Meepo make the attempt? Yep, there's the net, and yeah, he'll be dead. Black Jesus, he ran the wrong way, and Superlad's too late on the stun.
This is such a beautiful setup for the Ricky Smoke Cloud. I think silence and snares are just two things which go really well together, but...
Oh, big charge in. Dr. Coupe doesn't look too scared at the moment, but SB copying a bit of damage. They couldn't kill off Cooper, and he'll just literally walk out of here. Oh, Dos Gatos. He's still making a play for it, but too slow. Not going to be able to get anything done on that Meepo.
Yeah, that's just how badly they want to kill this Meepo. Now Meepo's got a Blink Dagger, so it's going to be even harder.
Well,
and they're going to have to be very careful now with a Blink Dagger. I think Meepo can kill pretty much anyone on this map right now.
But like you pointed out before, while they're concentrating on this Meepo, Entro on the Weaver, he's just free farming. Like they're literally doing nothing about him. He's just enjoying himself at the bot lane.
Yeah, apparently he's taking that tower. I have no clue when that happened.
Yeah.
It's pretty recent, but that's just what happens when you leave a Weaver all alone in a lane, and I don't see how they can punish this. They do have level 6 now on Nyx Assassin, which is decent, and they do have the Spirit Breaker, who's also level 6, so maybe that's their opening. They're going to have to chain stun it perfectly, but it is possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like you said, that may be the death of Cooper if they chain stun perfectly, but then there's, of course, the risk that he's just going to turn around poof and kill everyone around him. He's got that Blink Dagger as well, so he can initiate when necessary. Looks like there might be a fight mid lane. They're actually going to find Warlock across the river, and he could be in trouble. The skewer missed, the shockwave, the stun hits, and yeah, he's dead. There was a charge coming from SB, but it'll deviate to a creep. But good little kill on the Warlock. Bit of a overextension. In fact, the Nyx, he's vendetted up now, and he's going to go looking for somebody.
I don't think he can do this alone, but they do have a Spirit Breaker, and that's a pretty good hero for just joining out to get onto targets that Nyx has spotted out. But you got to remember, there's a Ricky on the NWA team, and if he's able to spot out these rotations, they could get something done themselves.
Well, there's a smoke bot, and they're going to find Cooper. There's the skewer. Have they got an RP? Yes, they do. They'll commit it. And Dos Gatos is there with him, but they could really poof out if they really want, and they will. And it'll be as simple as that. They'll just get the hell out.
Yeah, he poofs out to the other side, however. They were going for a gank themselves. Meepo Prime up top, and...
Yeah, he got a kill on Tane, but like you said, he ended up getting taken down by Soup Lad. Regardless, though, they've surrounded the tier 1 top. Like, I don't see a defense happening here.
Yep, the anti-mage could really use the TP now. I don't think there's any way they can defend this, as you say. I think he just needs to TP to another lane and continue farming, because he's pretty close to his Battle Fury. And, really just needs to get that online, be able to match the split pushing coming out from this Meepo, from this Weaver. And even then, it's not going to be easy. As you're saying, there's plenty of solutions to the anti-mage, even more so now with this Meepo and his Blink Dagger. So it's going to be tough.
Soup Lad, he's going to find Warlock. He's actually going to go for it. The stun does hit. The charge coming in. The smoke's there, though, and actually rooted in place. Tane, he can't make the charge. Spike Carapace, they're still trying to chase this Warlock, but he's healing up. All the Golem almost about to drop, and now they're going after Dusty with the Dust. There's no RP available. Good stun out from the Nyx, but it's not going to matter too much. Weaver, he's just going to have free reign here. There was an anti-mage ulti, and they will get Dusty at the end of the day. Intro, he got to kill himself. They're going to keep chasing Pacer. Black Jesus, he's getting hit on by the backlines. On the backlines, I say, by Intro. That's a double kill for him. Will he go on Tane now? No, he won't. He'll decide to back off, but he might come back for a return kill. Anti-Mage is actually chasing him. No Sakuchi, but the heal comes out from Warlock. And that'll be it. It's a 2-for-0, was it? I think it was a 2-for-1 at the least.
No, the 2-for-2. Warlock and Ricky went down in exchange for Magnus and Nyx, I believe.
Just respawned so damn fast.
Yeah, the whole time it was Meepo just bottom lane taking that tower, and he was not involved in that at all.
Well, there's a charge coming out, and Soup Lad's there in Vendetta. He knows it as well. I don't think he can get out of this one. Actually, why is Tane's just backing off? Oh, he didn't want to get hit by the poof. And good little kill from Soup Lad. Nice Spike Carapace timing.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how these teams sort of match up. You've got two very good split pushers on the side of Team Michael Bolton. You've got the Meepo great at split pushing. You've got the Weaver great at split pushing. But at the same time, you've got these heroes, the Nyx Assassin and the Spirit Breaker, who are great at picking off lone heroes. Similar story for the other side, actually. You've got Anti-Mage, who's well known for being a good split pusher, but then you've got the Ricky, the Meepo, who are able to deal with that too. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams sort of use the map and what risks our carry players here choose to take. Because we see, Meepo going for that tier 2 tower. Yeah, he gets it, but I'm not sure if it's worth giving up your life like that.
Well, we were talking before, like they do have some kind of timing they have to hit. So I think there might be a bit of panic that's ensuing from Michael Bolton's team. Stun comes out on Warlock in the mid. There should be a big team fight if they want to defend this. Weaver throws out the swarm, and they're actually going to back off here. Tane doesn't want a bar of it, but there's a sentry ward there, so Entro has to be a bit careful. And Dusty, he's around the area as well. They've just got to be so careful because it's True Sight. The stun did miss. And looks like they're actually going to kill off Magnus. Black Jesus couldn't handle it. And now Nyx, he's going to get taken down as well. The golem's dropped. And Tane, yeah, he's rooted in place. He'll get taken down. Ricky with the ulti will take down a Baton as well. And that's 3 man gone. And they could probably go for a tier 2 if they really wanted now.
Yeah, no, they're going to head into Roshan even, and that's just one of the things that you can do with Meepo. They've got the Weaver with the bugs to help him out if they want, but he's more interested in finding a kill. I'm not sure if this is a good idea.
Oh, Weaver, he's actually top lane. I didn't even notice that he went that damn far, but luckily he backs off. How close was he to killing off Nyx?
1 hit away, but I think that's a risky proposition no matter what. He was up against an anti-mage who barely wasn't able to drain the mana for that time-lapse. If anti-mage got 1 more hit off, he wouldn't have had the mana to time-lapse and he would have certainly died there.
Well, at the very least, I suppose he's acting as a diversion to ensure Cooper has no distractions while he's trying to roach. It's actually a mid-fight, but Pitlord's going to try and get them out, and he does do it successfully. The Mana Void almost coming out from Anti-Mage, just not in time. You could hear the sound coming out for it.
Yeah, but we're really starting to see the problems that NWA have, and as we're saying, Team Michael Bolton needs to hit that timing, and we can see that when they find the engagements, they can definitely hit that. Once they bring in the Meepo for these team fights, they're just so strong, which is part of what makes it a bit surprising that in that last team fight up top, round around this bounty rune, that's why I'm kind of surprised that they didn't bring in the Meepo there. That was an even trait, but I think if they were able to sort of use their abilities, Warlock to drop his golem there, they could have just taken that fight.
Oh, there's a charge in on Cooper mid, and Suplad with the chain stun. He's actually poofing though. He wants to go on Tane, and that last Meepo is still surviving, and I think it might just make it. The urn wears off, and Tane, it looks like he's going to die if Nyx gets hit anymore. And he actually does, and he gets killed.
He died to Ancients?
Oh, he died to Ancients.
That's a bit embarrassing, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Wait, how did he die to Ancients?
I don't know. I think he just walked in. He was like 2 hits away, and I guess the 2 hits just came from these dinosaurs up there.
Well, what a dust though from Nyx. He finds the Ricky, but the ulti's there. And Suplad, he might get taken down from Dusty. No, he'll turn around with the stun. And Dos Gatos is there, and yeah, Ricky, he has no chance. At the very least, he's lost his life, so they've lost that scouting ability for the next 20 seconds. Actually, looks like bot lane, they found Black Jesus. He will skewer out. He does have the RP available for the next fight. We should mention, he doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet. And in fact, look at Koopa. He's got the haste, and he's really looking for an attempt here. He's going to try and be a hero, I think. Nope. He'll back off.
Yeah, Magnus not having a Blink Dagger there is quite an issue. We've seen him try to get an RP off a couple of times, but it really hasn't worked out for him.
Oh, top lane now. Pitlord's the one in trouble. Pacer. He's got a mech. He uses the ulti. He could probably survive through this if he really wants. Oh, the mech has no mana now, but he'll get out anyway. He's just too tanky. Meanwhile, mid lane looks like Black Jesus uses the RP on the Meepo. They'll get a chain stun from the Nyx as well. That was a beautiful stun from Suplad. And I think Cooper's screwed here, but he actually takes out Magnus. And oh, he's actually man-fighting this. He takes out the Nyx as well. Double kill for him, and he does get taken out at the end, though.
Yeah. Bit of a mistake here from our next assassin to use the Carapace that early, I think. If not for that, I think he might have gotten away with his life. I'm pretty sure Magnus was dead no matter what. But yeah, I do like this. Meepo is a hero who they really have to kill. But at the same time, they're only banking on their own anti-mage, whereas Team Michael Bolton have this Weaver as well as the Meepo to fall back on. I just feel like what they're doing is nice. They need to do more of it. They attempted to pick off on the Spirit Breaker with the Spirit Breaker onto the Underlord. That didn't really go the way they planned. Just because Underlord's such a tanky hero, I feel like maybe they should be focusing their attention onto this Weaver instead. But at the same time, he's got the Lincoln, so he's a very hard target to charge too.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Once you've got the Lincolns on Weaver, it becomes like it's almost impossible to kill that damn Weaver off unless you've got 3 or 4 people attacking him. They might find there's a charge coming out, actually. And who is it on? It is on... Oh, no, it's cancelled off. It looks like it was on Warlock, but Dusty, he had the vision anyway. So he knew about it. I mean, it's going to be hard. Weaver, he almost has a Deso now as well. He's pretty much 100 gold, 150 gold just about away from the last Mithril Hammer. And then that's when towers really start melting. They're going to push in for the tier 1 mid. Magnus is on the front lines. He still has no blink though. And there is a golem drop available if necessary. And look, they've rooted Dos Gatos. He uses the shield though. They don't want to engage quite yet. But I don't think they can push this tier 1.
Yep. They don't have the Blink RP yet, and that's just one of the problems with their lineup right now. You don't really need anything except for levels on Warlock to be effective.
Oh.
Whereas a Magnus trying to run around with no Blink is very hard, especially against heroes like the Ricky, all the multiple roots coming out from them. It's going to be a challenge.
Well, Cooper, he's walking with no fear straight towards the enemy. He's got that blink now. The net will not hit. There's a skewer. The RP's there as well. The pit's there though. And a lot of damage coming out. The golem dropped as well. They take out 2 already. And I mean, this is looking so bad for NWA right now. I don't think they can handle this. The tier 2 goes down and this should be a tier 3 at least if they really want.
Yeah, I don't see any way that NWA can fight this. Their biggest teamfight tool, this RP, is down, and with all these Meepos on their tower, all they can do is slow down the push.
There's a massive stun for Suplat, but it literally does not matter. And yeah, this is at least a Rax. Like, there's no way they need to back out here. Net hits on Nyx, so they can make the go on him if they want. Dusty actually goes first with the smoke cloud, and they actually don't want to take him out yet, but then they realize they only need 2 hits to do so anyway. And there goes the mid Rax. And in fact, they're going to rotate bot now. Like, there's literally nothing that can stop them.
Anti-Mage is trying his best to get some split push going on here, but he's got 5,000 gold sitting in his stash.
We'll skewer back on intro, but he time lapses, and this is the second Rax, and without that RP, there's just no chance of anything happening here. The second Rax goes down. I mean, they're trying to get some kind of punishment kill out of this, and Entro, he's literally going to Sakuchi away. Meepo, he's going to man fight. He takes out the Anti-Mage himself, and then the Pit Lord takes everyone out to make matters worse.
Big mistake from Anti-Mage to try and fight there, I think. He could have taken out top tier 2 at least, but he TP's back, tries to defend, but he ends up losing his Rax anyway, and the TP came when his Rax was assuredly dead. So the best case scenario for him is he gets a kill or 2, and yeah, maybe it's worth it if you completely team wipe all of Michael Bolton, but as we saw, that Pit Lord ultimate is just so good at getting people out of sticky situations like that.
Well, we were talking about the timing that Michael Bolton need to hit, and I feel like they've just hit it.
Oh yeah.
There's really, I don't know, I shouldn't be pessimistic about NWA's chances, but it doesn't feel like there's much of a chance left here for them.
Yeah. One of the things about Anti-Mage is that if you're able to get off to a good start, you're able to spread the map, farm up, then yeah, you can sort of have this peak at around 30-35 minutes where you're just stronger than anyone. But, they've hit the timing much better on Michael Bolton. I think this Meepo does scale in a similar way to Anti-Mage, so you've got, a bit of a questionable early game, but then once you come online, once you get a couple of items, you can farm up really, really fast.
Well, mid lane, Dusty. Oh, actually, what's going on top lane?
RP committed, but only after Weaver time-lapse out of there, so...
Mid lane, Suplad gets taken out, and now Batten. I mean, the ult is used. He's TPing out. He might actually get out of this one, and he does do so. Tane, he came in when he didn't need to, and now he'll die as well. Top lane. Looks like there's a bit of a fight going on. Black Jesus is almost dead. Intro doesn't want to chase past the tier 2 quite yet, but Pace is not really scared himself. The creeps come in now, and this will mean the tier 2's dead. And you were saying before the RP was actually committed.
Yeah. They tried to RP the Weaver on their tower, but he got the time-lapse off before the RP came out, so he just perfectly dodged that.
Well, it looks like deja vu, because, I mean, this is exactly what happened the last team fight where they lost 2 Racks. Just no RP on the high ground, like, they can't do anything without it.
Yep, it's gonna be hard. Anti-Mage, I think his best bet is to split push, but that's a pretty bad bet because it's going to be mega creeps if they choose the whole ground. Instead, they're going to play it cool for now, I think. Roshan's going to respawn, so looks like that's going to be what Meepo's going to be headed to.
Which is absolutely fair enough. I mean, if you want to just, 100% confirm that you can commit to that top Rax, I mean, you can't blame him for going after the Roshan first. And yeah, Roshan's going to drop like a sack of potatoes here, and they'll make the TP back to base, but he can just poof back if he wants. In fact, he went and got the Ethereal Blade now. It makes it a lot worse for them.
it's going to be hard. Michael Bolton, they've hit the timing that they've needed, and they've hit it so hard that they've pretty much taken away any possible timing from this anti-mage either.
Well,
So,
I'm having a quick look at that team net worth graph just before the team fight starts, and in fact, Nyx, he's been netted up, so he's in big trouble. His Spike Carapace was used, and he goes down. Dominating spree for Meepo, and I was just saying the team net worth, they're over 20k advantage. In fact, they haven't been behind on Team Michael Bolton's side quite yet, and the XP speaks for itself as well, almost 20k, so they've completely dominated the whole game at this point. There's a big RP onto all the Meepos, but it's not going to matter too much, I don't think, because he's just going to turn around and start netting people. There's the Poofs, and he'll start on a battle, the ulti's committed. The charge comes in on the pit lawn, but it's not going to matter. The Golem's dropped onto 3. They'll get the kill onto 2, and I mean, that's a full team up in a split second, and I think they have to call GG well played here.
yeah, this game's pretty over.
Well, that is GG well played. Game 1 will go to Team Michael Bolton. It is a series of 3, so please stay with us for Game 2, which should be just coming up in about 5 minutes or so. There's not really much else to say. That was a complete stomp under 30 minutes, so we're going to wait for Game 2. Hopefully it's a bit more competitive. We'll be back with you in about 5 minutes or so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game two of this best of three between Nagas with Attitude and Team Michael Bolton. With me again is a man that doesn't throw carrots, Mr. Stinky Pie. Stinky, how you doing after game one?
Not bad. Do have some criticism, however, for Nagas with Attitude.
Oh,
I feel like they did have the tools to deal with Meepo early on, but they made a couple of crucial mistakes in the laning phase. So I think dual laning the Nyx Assassin with the Spirit Breaker was not the play. They sort of let this Meepo have the free lane that he'd really want, and they didn't pressure him at all. And that sort of just snowballed out of control. I feel like even though Team Michael Bolton looked really good in that first game, I think if Nagas with Attitude had some slight adjustments to their play, they could have made that game much closer. So we'll see how they sort of choose to remedy that in game two, be it with draft or be it with play. I think they do have what it takes to actually take the fight to Team Michael Bolton. We'll see if they're just actually able to pull it out.
well, interestingly enough, we see the same bans coming out from both teams, and Nagas they don't ban the Meepo. They're not really afraid of it quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, I think they had the tools to deal with it.
Oh,
And Enigma is a pretty good tool when it comes to dealing with Meepo. So
we do love an Enigma, and I mean, this unfortunately doubles the chance of me using the incorrect word, if you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna have to be extremely careful. Oh, it's so bad. And we see a bounty hunter and warlock. I mean, this is gonna be exciting. A lot of AoE coming out. Oh,
oh right, we're all in with this team fight.
give me a sec. I'm telling the chat that the second draft is already very exciting.
Hey, no spoilers.
Oh, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm just telling them that if they
Alright.
decide to close the stream, they will go to hell for missing out on this game. Well, I mean, I'm very excited now. I think we got some clips for the highlight reel coming, and I hurt my throat last night, but screw it. I guess we're gonna have to lose our shit. Third band coming out. I mean, it's almost like they've specifically said, "I dare you to choose Meepo again."
Yeah, and Kanka, very good hero against Meepo. Often Meepo's best defense is just poofing out of a sticky situation. X marked the spot. Very good answer for that. Also, if you're not able to blow someone up at the start of a fight, the second that Kunkka boat comes in, you'll find all your Meepo stunned. You'll find the enemy team very hard to take down. So I do like the Kunkka pick, and like you say, I don't think Team Michael Bolton are going to go for Meepo here. There's just too many counters.
Yeah, well, just before we go on, of course, reminding any new viewers that if you see FPS drops on the draft screen, don't worry, it's standard. The FPS drops will disappear once we get into the game. We see the CMTA ban out. Look, like you said, there's too many counters for Meepo this time, so Team Michael Bolton probably thinking it's not worth it. But at the same time, Enigma's black hole does get cancelled by the net, if I'm correct.
Don't think it does, actually. That was a pretty recent change.
Oh, well, there you go.
But yeah, there's a lot of good answers to the Enigma black hole already. I think Warlock Golem, if you're able to hold on to it for long enough, it's one of the best counters to Enigma.
Oh my
It's
god.
a huge AoE BKB piercing stun.
I mean, this is getting better and better, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's now so we've got a black hole, we've got a golem, we've got a boat, and we've got a vacuum wall. This is exciting.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just not sure this Enigma pick is really going to be that effective. There's now three very reliable ways of stopping a black hole. Bounty Hunter, if he ever gets a track onto an Enigma, it's just an easy circuit and toss into a bounce, and that's going to be a black hole cancel. And even a BKB on this Enigma isn't the solution because there's always the Warlock as the answer.
That is a very good point. He is going to have to catch the Warlock every time, and like you said, he needs a BKB if he doesn't want Bounty Hunter to just cancel it. Otherwise, he's practically got to catch everyone. And I mean, come on,
Okay.
You can't do this to me. My heart can't handle this at this time of the morning. My goodness. Um,
So these guys, they're all in on the team fight now.
well, I mean, I like it. I love it, in fact. I mean, this is, assuming, not one team gets stomped in 20 minutes, this is going to be very exciting. But, I mean, there's a lot of AoE. Like, I don't even know how they're going to lane these right now.
Yeah, I have no clue. It looks to be a core Conka, if anything. So that's something we haven't seen in a while. We have seen it before though, and I think it was actually Nagas with Attitude who ran it. I do remember casting a game with you where there was a core Conka.
That is correct. I think it was Nagas, actually. I should point out, like, we haven't talked about this, but the Enigma was first picked up. And
Yeah.
we saw a straight bounty hunter counter. So if he goes jungle, he's just going to have a bounty hunter following him the whole time.
Hmm. I'm thinking it could be an offlane Enigma. That's something we see every now and then, just being very annoying, denying the range creeps constantly, and then sending those Eidolons into jungle to farm on their own, while you take EXP in your lane yourself. So that can be quite effective. But as you're saying, he's going to be hounded by this bounty hunter the whole time. And first picking Enigma, that's quite a bold move. We see all these instant counters. Maybe they're thinking not so much about the black hole, but maybe just getting up to a fast mechanism on the Enigma, just pushing with the Eidolons early on, and that's a perfectly viable strategy with Darkseer. But speaking of early pushing, that's a Death Prophet.
Oh, Death Prophet, and then a very quick Jug pickup. Now, I don't think there's any room for something like a Magnus left, but I suppose you never know. If they wanted to just add a bit more AoE crowd control, I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, they've got, I suppose, Treant's their position 5. Kunka's probably their mid. Juggernaut's their safe lane. Enigma, like you said, could be the off lane, or he could be the jungle, but preferably the off lane due to the bounty hunter. What?
They bat out the Titans. It's like, we've had enough. We can't take anymore.
Well, what's left? What could they possibly choose? I mean, it's Team AoE right now.
I just go for the Magnus Gold, and I don't care. I'm really not too sure. They do still have very nice early push. That's something which the Juggernaut really offers them. We're saying Enigma with the Eidolons already, Juggernaut with that healing word is a great addition to that. So if they're sort of able to do decently in the lanes, we could just see them pressuring down some towers very early on. So I'm thinking maybe some sort of defensive support, just to sort of back that up even more, allow this Juggernaut to walk up in the front and hit towers, and have someone standing behind to maybe bail him out. That's assuming NWA want a support, because they could just go even further with the team fight.
This is the secret strat you pull out when you're in a bit of a pickle in the semi-finals. I mean, it's a strange draft. It's a bit greedy, and it's very based around their ult cooldowns. But my goodness, it's interesting. I'm really curious what they're going to choose last here. I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, good point you brought up with the cooldowns, actually. Both NWA and Team Michael Bolton have got some really big cooldowns to play around. But I think if there's no cooldowns available, NWA do have the slight edge. So maybe they can play around that. I think Juggernaut, pretty strong here even without his ultimate. Konka, very low cooldown on that Ghost Ship for its power. So if they lose a team fight, they could just get right back into it and keep pressuring towers.
I should mention to you, last game, I forgot to say it, but John was, what the hell is that? John is a bit upset that there was no, oh my god, it's actually happened. It's Team AoE. I was gonna say John is upset because there was no Aghanim Scepter on SB, which he thought would have turned the game around. So, which I mean, you can't disagree with the bloke. I mean, he was in a sense right. They could have won with an Aghanim Scepter, so he was a bit upset with you for not accepting that.
Apologies to John here, but I don't think that Spirit Breaker ever had enough gold for a full item, let alone an Agnum Scepter.
Well, I should also mention there appears to be some kind of carrot meme. I'll tell you the story because you probably, unless you read the Twitch chat, you haven't really heard of it yet. There's a Slark. We'll get to that in a minute, but apparently, Mr. Dr. Cooper, the Meepo player last game, apparently I don't know if it was high school they were saying, but apparently he threw carrots and never got caught, and apparently there's some kind of carrot meme.
All right. Well, no throwing of carrots this game, hopefully.
Yeah, well,
only some shurikens being thrown by a bounty hunter.
well we should point out that there is no rule in Echo League stating you cannot throw carrots. So
That is true.
there is an advantage there for Team Michael Bolton. Let us get into the game. I mean, Team AoE on NWA. I'm very, very excited. Hopefully, it's not too greedy. It isn't we should mention it is a jungle enigma, by the looks of it. I'm going to quickly call out the Radiant and you call out the Dire. So, we have Dusty, who is playing the Bounty Hunter instead of the Ricky this time. Entro will be on that carry Slark. We see mean Mr. Custard playing the Warlock again. We have Mr. Dr. Cooper on the mid, Death Prophet. And finally, we have Pacer on that offlane Darkseer. And if the Dire, if you could please.
Yeah, we got Black Jesus here playing the mid Konko. And that's something we've seen him do before. Duskitas on this Phoenix. Suplad playing the Train Protector. SR24 on the Juggernaut here. Nice shiny Arcana with him too. And Tane playing the Jungle Enigma.
I mean, Jungle Enigma. We know what's gonna like. This bounty hunter is gonna have a field day. Like it's not the smartest decision from the guys. Oh, actually, bot lane. Let's ignore that for a second because it looks like there's going to be at least some kind of contention. And NWA not happy with the fact that Michael Bolton stole their rune last time. That being said, it opens up the top lane as well. So Michael Bolton saying, well, if you want to go for the bot, we'll go for the top. And they've got Dusty. Look at this. This is the Bounty Hunter Darkseer combo here. The Iron Shell. They literally cannot stand near the Bounty Rune spot. And Pace is there now as well. Jug's just copying a lot of damage from this Iron Shell. And it does get stolen from Dusty. In fact, the bot one, it did get taken as well. So it is going to be a 2 for 2. SR24, he's almost lost all his health here due to that one Iron Shell because he tried to get the Bounty Rune.
Yeah, I mean, Enigma is one of the worst heroes, level 1. End of story. You don't really want to take Malefice or Midnight Pulse, and even if you do, they're not the strongest abilities at early levels. The Mana Conversion is nice, but it really doesn't do much when there's no creeps around.
We have an offlane Treant Protector.
Alright. I was thinking it'd be an offlane Phoenix, but I guess not.
I mean, we know that we've watched the Kiev Major, so you'd know that the Treant Protector, a lot of the analysts were saying that they need, it's best for them to get a Blink Dagger because you can actually hit some, like you can blink and use the Nature's Guise and it will still bash.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess in a sense it's good, like if they're going to play around a lot with that Overgrowth ult, but apart from that, it's very unorthodox.
Yeah. He is a decent laner in some sense, and he's running around with almost 100 attack damage level 1. Actually,
Dusty.
that's a successful Courier Snipe this time. Minute and a half into the game, he was sitting around for 3 minutes last game and didn't get anything.
Well, look at Tane though. He's almost very low HP. The creep does not get stolen. Dusty lets him have it, just steal some XP. But I mean, Tane, I don't feel like he can jungle here. Not against this bounty hunter who's gonna annoy the living crap out of him, especially with that orb of venom.
Yep. Having that Courier Snipe really doesn't help him either. He's gonna really struggle to find farm. He won't have the mana very soon. Can't get the Soul Ring out to himself. It's an issue.
Which he just bought, mind you. Black Jesus, meanwhile, he was copying the Spirit Siphon from Dr. Cooper, but we'll walk away from it. I mean, this is one of those things, like, even Phoenix right now, Dos Gatos, he's in big trouble if Dusty chooses to go for him. I'm surprised we have not seen an Iron Shelled Bounty Hunter roaming yet, because that's what I expected. And actually, Mr. Custard, he actually takes out Train Protector a bot with Entro.
That's one of the problems with Train Protector in the offlane. He's a 1 armor hero, and yeah, he's got decent starting health, but he's honestly not that tanky, all things considered.
Watch top lane, Dos Gatos. He doesn't even know that there's an Iron Shell chasing him. Now he knows. Oh, he actually gets out of it! And no, it won't tick him down. SR24, he'll walk it off as well, but I really thought he was going to die there on the Phoenix. And meanwhile, mid lane, Black Jesus, Spirit Siphon again. We'll go down to at least half HP there.
Yeah, Death Prophet's just one of the better heroes in general against most melee mids, and Kunkka, while he does have some pseudo-ranged abilities with that Tidebringer and the Torrent, he does have to get up close to the creep wave to actually get some last hits.
It's not easy for Black Jesus, but he probably will end up being okay. The Torrent does hit, doesn't matter too much. It's very annoying. That Spirit Siphon is just such a damn good skill. Very underrated, in fact, these days. See Soup Lad. He's invis in the trees, just soaking XP. Doesn't want to make that same mistake, but he doesn't realize he's actually standing right under a sentry ward.
And one of the things about this Train Protector is that he doesn't really have any escape once he gets pounced on. I was expecting this Phoenix in the offlane, and they don't have any way between Slark and Warlock to actually stop a Phoenix from diving away. So worst case scenario for Phoenix is you sit around, maybe you don't find too much farm, but you'll never die as long as you have Icarus dive available. Whereas we see Train Protector having to constantly stay on his toes.
It's a very good point. I mean, they really want those levels and that bit of gold on Soup Lad, but he could get jumped on now. There's the pounce, and he's under the sentry again, and I think Soup Lad's completely screwed here. He'll walk it off. The invis will be available in just a second, and he will manage to get out, but very close call for him. Walks away with 150 HP.
Not including the ultimate, Slark's Stark Pact is pretty darn good when it comes to dealing with Train Protector spells. Leech Seed is one of the best early game abilities, not just to slow, but it does deal a significant amount of damage and heal if it's allowed to stay on you for a long time, but Slark just purges that off with the Dark Pact, no worries there. And even though he hasn't taken any points in it, Living Armor is a pretty bad ability against Dark Pact.
Black Jesus mid lane, copying a lot of damage from that Spirit Siphon again. Looks like they're actually going to surround Soup Lad as well on bot lane. Bounty Hunter's here now. So Dusty, just out of the tower range right now. He really wants to make something happen though, you can see it in his eyes. Soup Lad, if he walks a bit too far, he'll be in big danger, but luckily for him, Creep Wave is in his favor, and Dusty is really probably feeling like he's wasting his time right now.
Does relieve some pressure off this Enigma, of course, but as we were saying earlier, Enigma has been really struggling. He's level 3 and it's almost 6 minutes into the game. That's really not where you want to be. At 6 minutes, you can pretty much be level 6 guaranteed on Enigma if you're not under any pressure. But it just this Bounty Hunter pick is doing so much work for them. I mean, he hasn't done too much, all things considered, but just applying pressure in top lane, sniping that courier, that's more than enough at this stage of the game.
Well, it was just interesting. Like, in the draft screen we saw, it was a first pick Enigma, and that's really not what you usually see. Like, because there's obvious counters to that, and they had banned the Ricky, but then the Bounty Hunter was there, so it's like, no problem, we'll just pick up Bounty. We don't mind a bit of track gold anyway. Mid lane, Dr. Coupe is going on Black Jesus again with the Spirit Siphon. He had the invis there. He's going to deal a bit of damage again and just make him back off, but I mean, Black Jesus, he's had a really hard lane here. He's really not getting what he wants in this mid.
Yep, just looking at CS, it's 41 and 12 for DP, and
Ooh.
my last hits.
Top lane, SR24. I was going to say he was spinning.
And jungle, though.
Oh, the jungle as well, Dusty. Where the hell was that? They're actually still fighting. Black Jesus is there. And Dusty, he's going to back off Mr. Custard, though. He's stuck there. Dos Gatos doesn't want to stop, but Kunkka does. Black Jesus, now he's going to get jumped on. There is a Fatal Bond as well, which makes matters worse. The Torrent does miss at the end of the day. Dos Gatos will start chasing Dusty. But that'll be it. But a lot of things happening around the map.
Yeah, what happened top lane?
I was gonna say Juggernaut. He basically made a spin, and then from what looked like an absolute mile away, he commits the Omni Slash. I didn't realize he had such a big range on that, and got the kill on Darkseid solo. So that was a good little kill for him as well.
I guess that's the one lane which has been going decently for NWA so far. This Juggernaut's second and last. It's right behind this Death Prophet.
Oh, Black Jesus again, mid lane. I mean, he really can't escape this kind of Spirit Siphon harass. Like, it's just non-stop. I was gonna say we do see Dos Gatos as well. He actually came bot to take over that bot lane because Treant just cannot. He really can't stick around any longer in that lane.
Yeah, I mean, we see him jungling now, so taking Enigma's job.
It's been problematic. There's a lot of farm to be had and too many. Well, there's not really not enough farm to be had actually, and there's too many heroes that want it. And you can see Dusty. He's straight back in there in the jungle, and he actually walks out. But at the end of the day, he always knows where they are. And Enigma, he's level 5, 8 minutes in now, so it's very slow for an Enigma.
Yeah.
And he's rushing the blink.
I suppose you can say none of this really matters as long as they're able to hit their big wombo combo at some point.
Well, they're making the chase on SR20. SR24, my apologies. He actually realized and spins out, so the Iron Shell does not affect him anymore. I was saying, Tane, he's rushing the blink, so he does not want to go for the quick mech first.
I'm not sure I agree with this decision. And yeah, it lets you get off your big wombo combo, your amazing black holes, but there's just so many answers for the black hole this game.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see. I mean, do you think that when level 6 Enigma hits, Tane is gonna, go for a quick one-man black hole, or is he gonna wait for the big one?
I think you do the one-man black hole, because if you wait for the big one, you're gonna have to wait for the Phoenix egg. Actually,
oh, SR24 spins off. Oh, Suplad, good stun there. Dusty, he's trying to chase, but too late. And that was a big save from Suplad there. They're actually being surrounded.
Still not a good sign though, because as you're saying, that was sort of the one lane that was going their way. Now that Juggernaut's under a lot of pressure, we're seeing even more pressure in turn. Enigma not able to farm, Treant Protector not able to farm.
Oh, they found Dusty, and they actually have a go onto him, but he will run out of Sentry Ward outside of the Sentry Ward range. Tane did not commit the black hole at that point. He realizes he could probably get a big one here if he really wants. We see Black Jesus came in as well, and Dusty, he's got no mana for the invis now, so the Tyrant misses from Black Jesus, but they could really make the chase if they want. Interestingly enough, though, no X leveled on Kunkka.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think even 1 point would be pretty value, but at the same time, 1 point in X Mark has got a very short range. So X Mark is just one of those abilities where each point just gets so much better, but if you're not gonna fully commit to X Mark, it might not be worth getting any levels in it at all. So I think this is okay. Obviously, like in that specific situation, X Mark being at a higher level would be good, but that also means he'd have a much harder time in lane, and he's already struggling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no real big team fights coming in yet. Even if they did, mind you, NWA, most of them pretty low mana, so they won't even have the mana to cast the spells they need. They're probably waiting on Tane to pick up that Blink Dagger, I'd assume, on the Enigma, but it doesn't look that great for them right now. Like they're really like depending on this Blink Enigma I don't know if that's the play.
I feel like they have a bit of a timing here. Warlock's not level 6 yet, he's still at level 4 actually. Slark really doesn't come online until he gets that Shadow Blade. And we were mentioning this during the draft too. Actually, mid.
Yeah.
Gonna get
Dr. Cooper. He is gonna back off. He did have the Spirit Siphon. That was very close though. Black Jesus probably needed a bit of help there, but unfortunately he missed the boat.
I mean, it's the first boat we've seen really, so at least he's using it. It's not the longest cooldown. I think this is much better than just sitting in lane taking the harass. Well,
like you were saying though, if he had one level 1 X at that time, he may have been able to just ensure the boat hits. We see Tane
That
now.
is true.
Tane, he's rotating. He's got the black hole. Oh, he knows Dusty's there now. He would have seen the invis, and now the Iron Shell. He can literally turn around and black hole if he wants, but Juggernaut not in position. And Dusty, he's playing with fire here. He's playing with fire. He doesn't know how space works right now, because once you get hit in a black hole, you're not getting out. And no, they won't go for it. Tane is being very cautious, holding on to that cooldown right now. And I mean, if he just knew Dusty was there, I'm sure he'd use it. He must know, surely. Now he knows. He's going to have to commit it, but Suplad's there. Is he going to use it? He'll get it onto 2. There's the Overgrowth as well. The Warlock's there, though, and they'll take out the Enigma. And Pacer, he'll go down to the Omni Slash, and Dusty, he'll walk off. So it is a kill at the very least. But they did lose the Enigma. Probably a good trade for the Darkseer. Now SR24 chasing. Can't find Dusty. The spin committed. Trying to guess where he is, but he's way off. Meanwhile, mid lane, Black Jesus lost his tier 1 and almost loses his life. Dr. Cooper needs one more Crypt Swarm. He has it now, but he's not in range. Dusty will find Black Jesus, though. Shuriken committed, will get the kill. Had no track at the time. SR20, he's going to make a chase onto Dusty, but Dusty will be able to invis at the end of the day. Uses the track. Now out of mana, actually, but I think Juggernaut not even going to bother. Spirit Siphon going onto the Enigma Tane. Can't really do much without the Black Hole. So that will be it.
Yeah. And we're really, that last fight didn't go great for them. The Overgrowth was stacked with the black hole there, so basically didn't happen. But that team fight occurred with Team Michael Bolton not really having that many tools. Now they've got a Shadow Blade on Stark. Now they've got Warlocks level 6. Things are only going to get harder for NWA here on.
Yeah, and I mean, if we can look at their draft a bit, they're a bit, like, their draft does appear to be very, very greedy, right? Like, all their, like, a lot of them are cores, and they need a lot of farm to, like, they need those blinks, they need, they need those items to be able to initiate. Mid lane, there was a boat attempt, but it did miss. Dr. Cooper, he does back off. Actually, they're gonna have a go onto him. There's the X. He's very, very fast, though. That's the thing, and he uses the silence. Actually, good torrent out, and I think he's screwed here, Cooper. He's trying his best, but the Sunray does a lot of damage, and Dos Gatos, he'll get the kill.
That's nice. I think losing your DP there isn't the biggest of deals, because DP didn't have the Exorcism anyway. Once she respawns, you'll have Exorcism online, and they could potentially take a fight with all their shiny new items and cooldowns. Warlock with that Chaotic Offering. Black Hole's still down for more than a minute too, and if they're paying attention, they should be able to time that.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're going to go for the tier 1 and mid. Entro's already there on the Slark. He has a Shadow Blade available. Suplad, he's going to try and scout him out. He has the Overgrowth as well. So there is some kind of reinitiate if they get initiated on. I don't think this tier 1's going to be defended whatsoever. Nobody's really interested in. That's a tier 1. Oh, actually, Dusty gets a kill on Tane solo.
Yeah, he had some help from the Warlock there, but he was the only one who wanted to commit there for that dive. So they trade an Enigma kill for that. I think they should have fooled it, all things considered, because now there's going to be a bit of a defense coming out from NWA on their top tower, so they're not able to get the tower trade. And this time, they've got a lot of their team fight online. Black Hole's going to be up in 20 seconds too.
And SR24, he's got the Omni Slash, and he commits it, but it gets an unlucky creep bounce. There is a Phoenix there with the egg available. There's a golden drop, a good back wall though, and there's the egg. Doesn't kill anyone quite yet. Now the Overgrowth, the boat comes in as well, and Pacer will go down. The Warlock looks like it's going to go down as well. The only person they've lost so far is SR24, and the Golem's the only thing left, and they're just going to farm that for gold, I think. And that was a pretty damn good fight for NWA.
Yep, at the same time though, that's our Exorcism committed in the bottom lane, dealing some good damage to that tier 2. So they're going to lose the tier 2 tower here. They do defend their tier 1, but all things considered, I think that's a decent trade for Team Michael Bolton.
Oh, yes, I was going to say Dusty. He got caught out by the Enigma, so Sentry Ward's really helping out here with keeping eyes on Dusty. Like you said, oh, actually Dos Gatos, he gets pounced on, but he can Icarus dive away. They might actually have a go onto the Slark now because they know where he is, but Black Jesus TP's in with no mana. So he will just have to back off again, I think. Like you were saying, they took the tier 2 bot now with the Death Prophet, and that's still a big win for the side of Team Michael Bolton as well at the end of the day.
Yep, big team fight ultimates being used there. No egg for another 40 seconds. Similar straight for overgrowth. They sort of need to make every single fight count, and yeah, they did kind of win that last fight, but not convincingly enough, I feel.
Oh, Tane. He almost got caught out, but he runs into the trees. He TPs out straight away. I mean, after these team fights, unless you make a full wipe or something decent like that, like a 3 or 4 man wipe, it feels like if you only get like 1 or 2, there's so much limitation to what you can do after that because you've got these massive cooldowns. So you're like stuck where you're like, I can't really push because I'm scared I'm going to get reinitiated on.
Yeah, Team Michael Bolton, they played that perfectly. The Slarks, the DP, they weren't even there. And there's just no reason to take NWA head on right now.
Look at Tane. He's actually found Dusty. It's not going to matter too much, actually. SR24 coming in. There's the Dust committed. They do have the Omni Slash available. He can't get in range for it, though. He's so close, but yet so far. He's almost there. And Pacer, he'll TP in to try and help out. Oh, he actually blocks him a bit. And Pacer, he's going to lose his life for his insolence. Blocking the Bounty Hunter and loses his own life. That's a bit of karma for you right there. And SR24, he's not going to stop here. He wants to keep going. But Dusty, the dust will wear off, and that'll be it.
Yeah, I feel like even bringing the Darkseer in to begin with was a bit unnecessary. Could have just been spreading the map, pushing out other lanes. Exorcisms back up, could try and pressure another objective there while they're all trying to chase this Bounty Hunter.
Well, Dusty, he's come back with a vengeance. Wants to make something happen, but he's surrounded by dire heroes, and he'll actually just walk it off. Just get out of there, but things not looking as bad as we would think for NWA at this point. Like, I honestly thought it was going to be way worse at the early stages of the game.
Yeah, but I feel like, just looking at the farm, top 3 and last, it's all belong to the Radiant here, and net worth is slowly starting to climb in their direction too. I just feel like they need to get something done, and they do have the tools for it. Quite obviously with all their big ultimates, they just need to find the big connections, need to win a team fight very convincingly, and take objectives from there.
We see Suplat. He actually opted for the Midas, so things going very slow for him. I'm going to be intrigued to see if he goes for the Aghanims, and I should point out to you, somebody in the chat basically said that Ag's tree is terrible up against a Slark. Do you know why that is?
Yes, Slark always knows when he's under vision with his passive, and pretty natural Quelling Blade Carrier. It's a pretty good solution.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, the Ags won't really pay off because they're just going to keep destroying the trees anyway. It's a good point from the chat guy, so thank you very much for that. Dusty throwing the tracks out. Actually, Valve Discord available on Cooper, and there's a Spirit Cipher, but it's cancelled straight away. Is there a Black Hole available on Torn? I mean, Tane, my apologies. Torn. The Overgrowth is there. Now the boat's coming in onto 2, and Cooper's going to cop all of it. The Black Hole as well. He got Entro in the middle of it, but Cooper actually walks away. No, he doesn't. He gets taken out. Entro, he's in big trouble. The Omni Slash committed. The egg ensured Phoenix stayed alive, and Dusty, he's going to regret what he just tried to do there. And Mr. Custard, I mean, not feeling too good at the moment. He's going to lose his Golem as well, SR24. They're doing very well on NWA's side. They're pulling off the team fights like they need to.
At the same time, though, that's all their big cooldowns being used. And I don't think it really matters unless they're able to get something else off of it, because, in 10, 20 seconds from now, you're going to have the Slark respawning, the DP respawning. They're just going to go back to pushing, and you can't really do anything about it. So, yeah, once again, they win this team fight. I'm just not sure if it was enough. And I'm starting to question this Enigma's item choice once again. He's still going for the Blink Dagger and still is 1,000 gold away from it.
It does appear to be going, like, very slow. Like, the Blink Dagger, usually it's something very, like, if you get it very early. And you make something big happen with it, but he's getting some decent black holes, but not as much as he'd really want. Like, he can't get in position to get the big 4 or 5 mans at this point. It looks like there may be a smoke. No, there's no smoke. They're just waiting around in mid. And they want to make sure that if they're going to fight, they're going to catch them out. But Black Hole, cooldown for another 2 minutes. Overgrowth is almost available. Boat is available, but he's not in position to get one at the moment. And they're actually going to find Dusty. And now he'll disappear again.
I think this is perfectly fine. For a team like Bolton, they don't have to do anything as long as they're not losing too much. As long as they're spreading them out, as long as Clark keeps farming, and now he's got a DD rune, so that's farming time over. He's going to go on the hunt here. I don't know. This is just one of the problems with Wombo combo sort of team fight ultimates.
Well, he has the Shadow Blade. He does use it. He's gonna find Super Blade, but he can't cancel the TP. And actually, Black Jesus TP is out as well. I don't know how they knew they were coming, but they knew definitely because they backed off perfectly. And there's actually smoke picked up, and it's on the Enigma. And I was gonna say to you, Tane he's buying a lot of Sentry wards, he's buying a lot of Observer wards, and now he's bought the Smoke and Dust. I mean, they're really delaying this Blink Dagger on the Enigma rather than making like the Phoenix or Tree by the wards.
Yeah, I think that's okay, considering that I don't think the Blink Dagger is going to be very useful from the Enigma anyway. But at the same time, having a mechanism would be nice, and just beefing up their team fight.
I'm intrigued though. I mean, I agree with you. They probably should have just gone for the straight mech first. But I'm intrigued to see if it's going to be somebody else picking it up. At this point, nobody's got it queued. So it probably is the Enigma.
Phoenix waiting for the Veil. Now that's Roshan dead to the DP Exorcism, so that's a quick and easy objective for them. And Aegis, some games it doesn't matter too much, but against all these big ultimates, if you're just able to respawn with an Aegis and all the ultimates are down, it could be a very important Aegis here for Death Prophet.
Well, we haven't commented on Cooper that often, but while he's not throwing carrots, he's almost got his Octarine core. So
wow.
his Exorcism is down. So at the end of the day, if there's a big team fight, he may find himself in a bit of trouble. But at the very least, they can go for this tier 2 and they almost kill off SR24 with that Veil of Discord Shuriken combo. And unlike the Enigma, there is a mech on this bounty hunter, so Dusty being smart about it. They're actually running in, trying to go for a team fight, but they're just too late. Still, no items allowing them to initiate. And they actually find Black Jesus now. And the upheaval's there, the Omnislash committed. Pacer will get taken down, so SR24 does get something. Healing Ward is taken down immediately. And they're going to keep going. Entro, he wants to fight. And Tane will commit the Black Hole into 1. The boat actually comes out as well. The Phoenix ulti is there. And that Golden Fatal Bomb's doing a lot of damage. But they really can't kill anyone on the dire side at the moment. Tane walks it off. Custard, he will go down as well. That's 3 down. Enigma does die at the end of the day. Dos Gatos, he's going after Dr. Cooper. Dusty, he's picking up kills on the back lines. Gets a double kill, so it's 3 for 3 at the moment. And actually, Dr. Cooper, he looks like he's going to be able to walk this one off just fine. SR24 is chasing, but will give it up at the end of the day. So, thanks to Dusty, a 3 for 3.
Yep. Not too sure what happened at the end should have happened. Just a double kill on this bounty hunter on 2 low health sort of heroes, but it is what it is. It would have been a hard fight anyway. But the bigger problem now is there's still the Aegis on the DP. She's got Exorcism back up, and she's still got the Aegis. And look, so I don't know how you deal with this if you're NWA. You don't have Black Hole, you don't have Overgrowth, and you don't have a Phoenix Egg.
Well, if we look at pure stats here, and we know stats don't lie, thanks to Nahaz, the TMB, Team Michael Bolton, they're about 7.5k in the lead for net worth. So even though these team fights recently haven't been going the best, they're doing okay. And Entro actually finds a kill on Tane now in the jungle. They're going to find Dos Gatos as well. And the Fatal Bonds is there if they really need it. They actually commit the ulti from the DP. They'll find the Phoenix. And SR24 runs in, but he's got no Omni Slash available. And they really can't kill this DP right now. There's the Overgrowth, but it's only onto 1. The spin is there as well. And Entro, he ran a bit too far in, has no Shadow Dance. But they can't commit to him at the moment. So I think 100% this tier 2 should go down as long as that Exorcism is long enough to keep it going. And it looks like it will be just long enough to take it down. Oh, there's a jump in from Entro. And Treant will end up going down. Dos Gatos is there. And he does have the egg available if need be. But not going to commit at this. There's a 5-man there. And Team Michael Bolton, as we saw last game, they're hitting their timings very, very well.
And that being said, there is always plan B for NWA here. And we've said this time and time again. they've got this huge wombo combo. It's very risky to try and go high ground against what NWA have to offer. And they've got a Treant Protector, so as long as their tier 3s aren't dead, they can just continue healing them up, holding the high ground there. So we could see this game go the distance. NWA certainly not out of us. They do have the tools to take this to the late game.
Well, I'd like to point out to you there's two big deals that just happened, and those two big deals is Treant and Enigma now both have Blink Daggers. So if they want, they can finally be the ones that go smoke up and try and initiate themselves. And if Enigma's really good, he can, like, even if he doesn't have the mech, at the end of the day, if he's really good, he can get that perfect position to get the 4 or 5 man, which he does need, because otherwise it'll get cancelled anyway.
Well, we've seen Warlock be very good using his Chaotic Offering to cancel any black holes.
That is correct. That is correct. And actually, they're gonna find Tane. No, it's on SR24. They jump on. There is an overgrowth actually. Dusty will get caught out. They can commit the overgrowth, I guess, if they need it, but they don't actually need it at all. The Diffusal Blade on SR24 will do the job, and that's a mega kill for the Juggernaut. So at the end of the day, this Juggernaut's not farming very badly.
That's a bit of overconfidence coming out from Team Michael Bolton. They didn't have the Exorcism on Death Prophet. She was nowhere near anyway. And best case scenario, they'd be fighting into this big wombo combo. And like you're saying, there's the Blink Daggers now on this Enigma. All their cooldowns are back up. That was a really bad time for Team Michael Bolton to fight. And I think they should consider themselves lucky that they don't lose any more than just this Bounty Hunter.
Well, there's going to be a team fight though. SR24. He's going to go. The Golem's dropped. It's only onto the Treant Protector. Cooper, he's in big trouble. There's actually a kill on the backlines. They kill off Tane, so there's going to be no black hole here. And the Omni Slash is jumping. Not that effective for Cooper. He's still surviving with the Spirit Siphon. The eggs dropped as well. And they're going to keep going. Nobody's dead. The Overgrowth, the Exorcism, it actually does the job. Juggernaut goes down. Now Suplat goes down as well. And Dos Gatos hasn't learnt the lesson quite yet. Icarus Dive, not the best. And they're going to catch up Pacer. He's going to die as well. That Exorcism absolutely ripped him to shreds. And while all that was happening, no black hole because Slark took care of the Enigma.
Just a lot of mistakes coming out there from NWA. I think if they just group up as, however many heroes they want to bring in, they just run straight down mid and they have the sentries there. There's no way that the Enigma gets picked off. But, unfortunately, Slark finds him off on the side. I'm not sure why he had to be on the side. I guess he was just trying to set up with the Blink Dagger to get the black hole, but there's so much more that Enigma can do, even without the Blink Black Hole there.
Well, you talked about this before. They do have a very good high ground defense. The boat actually comes out, will completely whiff, but that doesn't matter too much because it's a short cooldown. But, I mean, they do have a good high ground defense, like you said, so...
No Exorcism makes it very hard to push.
Yeah, well, that's a good point as well. I mean, with that cooldown there, it's not like they're going to be able to do anything anyway.
I mean, I think this game is going to go on for quite some time. The tier 3 is going to get healed up by the Treant now. But, we're starting to see whenever they don't have their ultimates, it's really hard for NWA to get out of their base. And they have to make every single, rotation of their ultimates count. Well, and something which I wanted to mention earlier as well was Juggernaut had a Diffusal Blade. Death Prophet had the Yule Scepter. You can purge the Yule Scepter effect from enemies if you have a Diffusal Blade, but you have to target them as they're flying. If he dropped the Death Prophet there from the Yules, I think he could have killed him if he had just used the Diffusal Blade there. And a big mistake there to spin as well. The spin at this stage of the game doesn't do as much damage as right clicks from the Juggernaut, and the spin does not protect you from Exorcism, so he ends up fooling himself, doesn't kill the Death Prophet. Very big mistake.
Well, that's a fair point. I wasn't actually aware that you could defuse the Tornado from the Yules, so maybe, I'm not sure. I'm sure NWA are aware of it, but maybe a mistake, maybe they're not aware of it. That's a good point. Something I learned today, it looks like they're going to have a go here at the bot lane, but Pacer is too fast with the Surge, so he will back off. And Team Michael Bolton, they seem very comfortable with just, ensuring Entro gets the farm on the Slark, but... At the end of the day, surely, against the Juggernaut, they do have... They can't outlast the Juggernaut, can they?
It depends on what stage of the game we're talking. I think if we're talking the full buybacks on everyone, Boots of Travel on everyone, I think Slark does outscale a Juggernaut. But at the same time, Enigma is one of the best heroes when it comes to controlling a Slark. BKB really doesn't matter too much. Your Shadow Dance really doesn't matter too much either. So... It's a lot of it's going to depend on who sort of gets the better initiation because, as we've stated multiple times before, there are solutions to Black Hole as well.
Yep, yep. And look at this intro. He's gonna find a 5-man here. They don't have any true sight, but they actually just dropped a sentry ward, and they're gonna start fighting over Roshan, I think, because it has just come up, and we know both teams want it pretty darn badly. But I think Team Michael Bolton needed a bit more, maybe. Cooper, just sitting in the mid lane. Bit dangerous at the moment. Black Jesus looking for the X. Now we'll find it. Followed up by the Torrent. This could be the chance they need. The boat actually Exorcism used straight away. Yules will dodge the boat. And is there an overgrowth super? Not committing it quite yet. Still not committing the back wall and the goal. That was beautifully timed. The eggs there as well. They've got a bit of FPS drop here. There's no black hole quite yet either. And actually Enigma died. SR24 is the only one left and he will die as well. Did you see that timing?
Yeah, I mean, NWA, they need to be the ones sort of getting the catch, but it's so hard to catch a DP using that X mark because she just heals herself. And nice play, I have to admit, coming out from this DP. That was, very well timed. She used the Exorcism first, so it takes a while to line up the Exorcism. So she starts that as her first ability and then uses the Yule Scepter for the invulnerability and just dodges out the Conka combo. Great initiation there as well from the high ground too. Warlock in position, Darkseer as well with his Blink Dagger.
Well, one Rax goes down. The second one is also going down as well, and a buyback is forced out onto SR24. They still have the black hole, but it's just too late. Team Michael Bolton being very smart about it, backing off. And you did say before, the thing is, with leaving any kind of structures available, Treant Protector will be able to heal them up. So that range Rax, even though it doesn't heal itself, I mean, he's just going to heal it up. But still, at the end of the day, another exposed Rax for the side of Michael Bolton.
Yeah, that full top lane going down too is quite bad for them in this case. Normally, it's not that big of an issue. We're 34 minutes into the game, a lane of Rax, most heroes can handle that. But when you're running this sort of team fight lineup like NWA has, if they have to send one person back to deal with creeps pushing into their top lane, it's going to be very annoying for them.
Yeah.
Because, every single hero is crucial to their team fight. I don't think they have a chance at taking a team fight 4 versus 5 or even 4 versus 4. And they need everyone together.
I'd hate to make matters a bit worse for NWA because that's not my intention, but Cooper has a Radiance as well now.
Oh god.
Yeah. So, I mean, Octarine Radiance, combine that with the Exorcism, the Veil of Discord he already has. And he has the Exorcism available, mind you. Look, he's not even scared. He's literally walking in mid lane by himself. And he's almost inviting them. Black Jesus will take the invitation. And it'll just be an X. And that'll be it. That's all they can do, really. Entro, he's there. There is a sentry from the Dire, so they are aware of who's there. SR24, they do find him. They can't get the catch, but he is a bit too slow. Slark does not commit the chase. But it does appear that they're going to go for that second Rax after this shrine.
Roshan's up as well, so that's also a fairly safe option, I think, if they just commit the Death Prophet. Death Prophet can solo it quite easily, especially with a solo crest coming out from Bounty Hunter. But this could potentially give NWA a chance to sort of smoke out, take that team fight. So we'll have to see if they go for it. The positioning for now, though, is pretty good coming out from Team Michael Bolton. Warlock nowhere near. It's for now just the Death Prophet and Bounty Hunter sitting around. Great positioning on the Darkseer as well. The Slark too, just scouting things out, just stopping any potential smoke plays, and that's going to be coming very soon.
Well, I mean, like you said, the smoke's there. Entro will find SR24. They can at least get this Slark. Is there a black hole there? No, Tane delays it a bit. He can go for it on the downhill, but now Entro, he's specifically going for him. The black hole committed onto 1, the overgrowth onto 3. They're 2 split up though. The boat will completely whiff everyone except Mr. Custard. The golem dropped, and this is an absolute mess at the moment. The War Vax there as well, and looks like Tree will go down at the end of the day. Dosgatos not looking healthy himself. Can't Egg will die. Black Jesus as well, and I mean, I don't think they can come back from this. Pace has got an Assault Cuirass, and yeah, they called GG well played. It just did not work out for them.
they had a draft. They had a plan. This big team fight Wumbo Combo can work, but Michael Bolton were just able to play around that. In that last fight, nice positioning there from the start to just get on the Enigma and deny him that big black hole. And they played around the cooldowns very well too, and that's something that we definitely don't see enough of.
Well, we should probably try to get a quick interview with one of the Team Michael Bolton players. Do you know any of them by any chance?
Uh,
I'm sure we
Not
can
really,
find
but
one.
yeah, I'm sure we can find one with this guy.
All right, well,
I think
guys, watch. Sorry.
Dusty would be up for it, I think.
All right, well, guys, watching the stream, give us about 2 minutes. We're gonna try and get one of the Michael Bolton guys on the Discord to have a chat or an interview. Give us a second. We'll be right back with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have Dusty from Team Michael Bolton joining us for an interview. Mr. Dusty, how you doing?
I am doing great. How are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Congratulations on your win. You're through to the grand finals. Very exciting indeed. How are you? Like, were you nervous at all? You guys look pretty confident. You pretty much stomped game one. Game two, bit the same. How did you feel throughout the games?
I mean, yeah, everyone has the nerves before they go in, especially into a semifinal match, but I've got just endless amounts of confidence in everyone on my team. I know that no matter how poorly I draft, because, everyone has those drafts, everyone's gonna play their roles well, everyone's gonna excel. And if one of us has a bad game, everyone's always there to, pull each other back up. But everyone played great tonight. I couldn't ask for more. Feels great.
Speaking of drafts, though, in game one, that last pick Meepo, talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, it's Meepo. We have a guy that's capable of playing it, and I can't say too much on it, but we have a guy that's capable of playing it. It's a solid situational pick for us, and we're not afraid to bust it out when there's a good opportunity.
Okay.
I'd like to ask, game two. You're watching the draft. You see all these AoE ultis coming out. You see the Kunkka, you see the Phoenix, the Treant, the Enigma, and even SR24 and the Juggernaut had an Omni Slash. How did you feel? Were you like, okay, they're being too greedy, or did you feel like this is actually scary?
When we did our scouting report and our write up for this team, we noticed that they picked a lot of kind of greedy drafts. They ran a jungler a fair amount, which is great because we love to run roamers, especially my bounty hunter. And we knew that as long as we had some strong counter initiate, I trust my guys. I trust Lantern and Pacer in the off lane to get the quick initiates, like you saw with that mid fight. They had a great initiate on Mr. Dr. Cooper and just vac wall into Golem. And it's scary at first, but once you get your strategy all set up against it and you've got the counter initiate to make it through, we've got Greaves, we've got armor, we've got a pipe, we've got big ults to counter it. It kind of settles, and once you get a strong initiate like that and you start rolling, you just know that it's going well.
Well, I was gonna say, I've got a. I mean, I do have a message for Entro, who was playing the Slark. We in the casting scene, me and Stinky, and I'm sure all the viewers, we were sitting there once we saw this draft from Nagas. We were saying, all right, sweet, we got some highlights going. This is gonna be great. We're gonna put this on the highlight reel because there's Enigma. So much AOE, and then Entro ruins everything by taking Enigma out before the fight happens every single time. I mean, the man absolutely dominated Portain.
It's EGOD, man. That's all you can say. I will go out on a limb and I will say that he is the best carry in this league, and
Oh.
I have full confidence saying that. I'll put him 1v1 against any other carry, and I will take him every time.
Are you saying in any division?
No, no, in Division C. I'm confident, not ridiculous, Mike. Come on.
I mean, yes. Speaking of Division C, though, that's it. You guys have made it to the grand finals now, and your other opponents, I think, have yet to be decided. But have you sort of paid any attention to the rest of the bracket? How are you feeling going into the grand finals?
Yeah, of course. We're very confident. We're already working up some draft strats and everything, putting those into practice, kind of theory crafting at this point, but we'll put it into use next week. So we have a couple things that we need to bust out next week. We actually have to use a stand-in for our position 5 because our beloved Mean Mr. Custard is going on a trip.
Uh-oh.
So he will not be with us, but he'll be with us in spirit. So we need someone else for the Sick Warlock place. But, always confident in my guys. No matter who we play, no matter what game we're going into, I've got full confidence that we can win.
Well, I was gonna. Stinky, do we know who they're versing in the grand final? We casted the last.
It's Elusive.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. I mean, both of you guys are pretty good teams. Like when we because me and Stinky have been casting a lot of these Division C. We casted the last semi-finals as well, so Elusive picked that one up. Both you guys and Elusive pretty much stomp any other team in the division every game you guys play. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. Can I just ask, is there some cheese strats coming? Are we going to see something interesting come out?
I can't reveal too much, but what you saw tonight is definitely not all we have, considering we had a weird road here in the 7 or 8 weeks now. We've played one match other than tonight because every other team that we've gone to go up against has forfeited for various reasons. So yeah, it makes us hard to scout. We haven't had to reveal too much for drafts. I think we've run something different every game. I think I played Bounty twice, but that's pretty much the only hero we have in common. So I mean, we've got a lot still up our sleeve that we've been able to hold out on.
That's very good to hear because we're looking forward to it, I'm sure. Stinky, you got any more questions?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, look, thank you very much for joining us, Dusty. We do appreciate it. And
hey, thank you guys.
Congratulations and look, best of luck in the grand final. I'm sure me and Stinky may be there to cast it unless somebody else picks it up, but best of luck at the least. I'll be watching at the least.
Perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for joining us. Stinky, that finishes off the stream for today. We are casting the grand finals for I believe it's Division A. We're casting some grand finals in about a week, so anyone that likes hearing us, please consider following the Twitch and to stay updated. Otherwise, just watch Discord and you'll see when it comes up. Stinky,
Twitter is also probably worth following. Just the Echo League Twitter.
And at MLP Dota, of course, because I need some followers too. I got 15 boys. Help me out here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Stinky, you got any shout-outs?
Hey, shout out to John X Fire, because dedicated watcher here. Great caster as well. Puts a lot of effort into Echo League.
He really does. Thank you, John. We apologize for not being able to show you the Ags SB this time. Also, SPK44. He's been talking a lot in chat. I do appreciate that. So, guys, look, anyone viewing, I think there was about 12 or 13 people constantly viewing. We peaked at like 17, which is right now. So, look, guys, thanks for watching. We do appreciate it. Consider following if you enjoyed. But other than that, it's been Mike LaPhoenix, it's been StinkyPie. Until next time, guys, you guys have a great day ahead.